Hello class ninth. Through this video, I am going to explain the remaining part of chapter 3rd, that is values and data types. In this video, I will explain about data types and type conversion. Okay, so now let's start. So the first topic is data types. Okay, now the question is, what are data types? Okay, so in Java programming, we have to deal with various type of data such as whole numbers, fractional numbers, a single character, a set of characters, etc. Okay, so now how can we use, or we can say how can we define these various type of data in a Java program? Okay, so the answer is that is data type which can define various type of data in a Java program. Okay, so now we can say data types define the various type of data in a Java program. Okay, now the second question is, what is the purpose of data types? Okay, so we can say data types are used for optimum utilization of memory space. Okay, compiler contains a storage assignment phase, and this phase allocates memory for different variables used in a program. Okay, we all know that we have to use different type of variables for storing the values. Okay, and these variables are the memory location. Okay, now the next question is, how does compiler knows that how much memory is needed for different type of variables? Okay, so the answer is compiler used data types for optimum utilization of memory space. Okay, each and every data type has a predefined memory size which is known by compiler. For example, int data type occupy 4 bytes of memory block for the value of its variable. Okay, suppose that I am declaring a variable that is a. Okay, so here we can see a is the variable name and int is the data type. Okay, so now the compiler will allocate 4 byte of, we can say 4 byte of memory size for this variable a. Okay, so why the compiler is allocating 4 byte of memory space? Because of int data type. Okay, because compiler knows the size of int data type is 4 byte and the variable a is type of int. Okay, so that's why the compiler will occupy the memory block that will be of 4 byte for the variable a. Okay, and this variable a can hold the whole number, okay, that may be negative or positive of 4 bytes. Okay, as well as we can say the compiler can allocate the memory space for the variables according to data types of the variables. Okay, and the programmer can use the appropriate data type according to the data taken in the program. Okay, so that is the purpose of data types. So data types are used for optimum utilization of memory space. Okay, next is types of data types. Okay, so data types are categorized into two categories. The first one is primitive types and the second one is non-primitive types. Okay, so the first one is primitive types. Okay, so the data types which are independent of any other type are known as primitive data types. Okay, and these data types are also called basic data types. Okay, and these data types are predefined or built-in data types because the system developers of Java have defined them. Okay, so we can say primitive data types are also known as basic data types, built-in data types, or predefined data types. Okay, and these data types are independent of any other type. Okay, and defined by the system developer of Java. Okay, next one is non-primitive data types. Okay, so these data types are directly or indirectly dependent on primitive data types. Okay, and these data types are also called user defined data types. Okay, and the types of non primitive types are classes, arrays, interfaces. Okay, so these three are the non primitive types. Okay, now just come to the primitive types. Okay, so again, primitive types can be categorized into two categories. The first one is numeric types and the second one is non-numeric types. Okay, and numeric, there are two types of numeric types. The first one is integers and the second one is floating numbers. Okay, whereas there are again two types of numeric non-numeric types. The first one is characters and the second one is boolean. Okay, now we can differentiate primitive types and non-primitive types. Okay, so primitive types are the data types which are independent of any other type, whereas non-primitive types, okay, are dependent on the primitive types. Okay, so that means we can say primitive types are the built-in or predefined data types, whereas non-primitive types are the dependent or we can say user-defined data types. Okay, now I'm going to discuss the primitive data types in details. Okay, so the first numeric type is integer type. Okay, and we all know that what is integer. So integer is a whole number that does not contain any decimal point. Okay, and this whole number may be negative or positive. Okay, so in case of integer type, okay, a variable declared integer type contains a whole number. Okay, and there are four types of declaration in this type. Means in integer type we can declare a variable in four ways. Okay, the first data type of integer type is byte. Okay, and this byte data type is used for bitwise operation. And what is bitwise operation? So bitwise operations are performed on binary operators. Okay, and the memory size of this byte data type is 1 byte. Okay, that is 8 bits. Okay, and the format of declaring a variable of byte data type is byte then name of variable. Okay, that means byte a, and then we can assign any value to this variable a. Okay, the second way of declaration in integer type is short. Okay, and short is used for a small range of integers. Means short data type, the variable of short data type can hold the small range of integer. Okay, and the memory size of short data type is 2 bytes, that is 16 bits. Okay, and how can we declare a variable of short type? That is short, the name of data type, then variable name. Okay, and now this variable can hold a small uh, integer value. Okay, that is 15. Okay, next one is int data type of integer type. Okay, and this int data type is used to declare a variable which can hold uh, a integer value that is more than short. Okay, here, and we can see the memory size of int data type is 4 bytes, more than short data types. Okay, and means the int type of variable can hold a value, okay, of 4 bytes. Okay, and how can we declare a variable of int data type? Here we can see int then name of variable. Okay, and then later we can assign a value to that variable of int type. Okay, and the last one is long data type of integer type. Okay, and this long is used for large integers. That means the variable of long data type can hold a large integer. Okay, and the memory size of long data type is 4 bytes. Okay, and format we can see again long, the name of data type, then variable name. Okay, variable is a. Okay, and now a can hold a larger integers than int, short and byte. Okay, so here we can observe these are the four types of declaration which can be done in integer type. Okay, these all are the data types which we can use in our program. Okay, the second type of numeric primitive data types is floating type. Okay, so first of all, what is float value? Okay, so float value means a fractional number. Okay, a fractional number means a number with decimal point. Okay, that is called fractional number or float number. Okay, so that means a variable declared floating type contains a fractional number, a number with decimal points. Okay, and this fractional number may be positive or negative. Okay, and there are two types of declaration under this. The first one is float and the second one is double. Okay, and this float data type or floating type is used for small range of fractional number. That means if we declare any variable of float, then that variable can hold a small fractional number. Okay, and the memory size of this float data type is 4 bytes, same as int data type. Okay, that is 4 bytes. Okay, and the format, how can we use this float data type with a variable? Okay, so for that we have to write float then variable name. Okay, so now this variable a is the type of float data type. Okay, and here we can observe a equal to 34.35. So here this 34.35 is a fractional number, a float number. Okay, and the second way of declaring a variable under the floating type is double. Okay, and double is used for wide range of fractional number. Okay, it can hold means the variable of double data type can hold a wide, or means we can say a large fractional number. Okay, so here we can see the size or the memory size of double data type is 8 bytes. That means if we declare any variable of double data type, so that can hold a value of 8 bytes. Okay, that means the memory size, the memory area or the memory block for that variable will be 8 bytes. Okay, and here we can see the format of double data type is the name of data type, that is double, then the variable name. Okay, and now we can observe here this variable a can hold the means a large range of fractional number we can observe here. Okay, so this is the floating type. Okay, next is character type. Okay, so in Java, if we want to store any single character, okay, so there is char data type of character type. Okay, so char data type is used to store a single character. Okay, and the memory size of char data type is 2 bytes. Okay, and how can we declare a variable of char data type? For that we can use char then variable name. Suppose that ch is the variable of char type. Okay, now we can assign any value to this ch variable. Okay, and one more thing, always just remember, whenever you are going to use any character, okay, whenever we are going to assign any character to a character variable, okay, so that time always that single character will be enclosed within a single quote. Okay, if you are not using this single quote, then there will be a error in your program. Okay, and Java language also consider a set of characters which is called a string. Okay, so whenever we are working with a single character, then we have char data type. Okay, but whenever we are working with a set of characters in a program, then how can we define that? Okay, so for that we have string class. This string is not a data type, this is the class. Okay, we can observe one more thing, all the data types are in lowercase. Here we can see byte, short, int, long. Okay, as well as we can see float, double. So these all are in lowercase. Char is also in lowercase, but in case of string we can observe here s is in uppercase. Okay, so and always each and every class in a Java program will be started with a capital letter. Okay, so here string is not a data type. String is a class which is used to store a set of characters. Okay, so here string is a class which is used to store a set of characters. Okay, and the memory size of string is more than 2 bytes. Okay, always whenever we are using any string in our Java program, so that will more than 2 bytes. Why? Because a single character is of 2 bytes. And what is string? String is a set of characters. Okay, so that means whenever we are using multiple characters, that means we need more than 2 bytes of memory space for storing of that string. Okay, and what is the format of declaring a string type? Okay, so that for that, the string then str. So str is the name of variable. Okay, and here we can see school. Okay, so here school, here we can see this is the set of characters. Here we can see more than one characters are used. Okay, and one more thing, whenever we are using any string in a Java program, so that string will enclosed within double quotes. Okay, characters means a single character is enclosed with single quote, whereas multiple characters or a set of characters, okay, or we can say a string will be enclosed within double quotes. Okay, the next non-numeric uh, primitive type is boolean. Okay, so the variable of boolean data type is used to store either true or false value. It can hold only one value, that may be true or false. Okay, and it is used to check the logical conditions. Okay, here we can observe one example of boolean variable. Okay, boolean, then the variable name, that is x. Okay, and here we can observe the value of this x is true. Okay, so that means boolean type of variable can hold only one value, that will be true or false. Okay, so these are the different types of primitive data types. Okay, next topic is type conversion. Okay, so here we can see in a mixed expression it is needed to convert the various data types into a single type. Okay, suppose that, first of all, just understand what is mixed expression. Okay, suppose that in our Java program we have multiple variables with different type of data types. Okay, suppose that we can observe here, this is the uh, these are the variables. Okay, a, b, c and d, and we can see each and every variable has a different type. A has int, b is float type, c is double type, d is long type. Okay, and further in the program we are going to perform any operation like a plus b plus c plus d. Okay, so this is called mixed expression. Okay, so any expression which contains uh, more than one variable of different type. Okay, so that is called mixed expression. Now the question is, what will be the data type of the result of this expression? Okay, so here, for to solve this problem, here we need type conversion. Okay, so in this mixed expression, it is needed to convert the various data types. Okay, the various data types are present here. Okay, int, float, double, long, into a single type. Okay, so such conversion is called type conversion. Okay, so in Java, type conversion can be done in two ways. The first one is implicit type conversion, which is also called coercion, and the second one is explicit type conversion, that is also known as typecasting. Okay, so the first type conversion is implicit type conversion. In this type of conversion, the result gets automatically converted into the highermost type available in the expression without any intervention of the user. That means the user cannot interfere. Okay, the system automatically converts the result into the highermost type available in the expression. It is also called coercion. Okay, so now I will show you how this implicit type conversion performed in Java. Okay, so this is the hierarchy of data types, and here we can see this is the list of all primitive data types, okay, which are byte, char, short, int, long, float, and double. Okay, and these all data types are arranged from low to high. That means the lowest priority of which data type in this hierarchy, that is byte, and the highest priority of which data type, that is double. Okay, so here by the help of this hierarchy we can understand. Okay, so this hierarchy is followed by the system compiler. Okay, so here we have one example, that is int I, float f, double t. Okay, so these are the different variables of different type. Okay, and we have a mixed expression here, that is I plus f upon d. Okay, and here in these variables, okay, we all know that according to this hierarchy, the highest priority of which data type, that is double. Okay, so that's why the result of this expression will be contained by the variable d, because d is the double type of variable. Okay, here we can see one more example of implicit type conversion. Okay, suppose that we have three variables. One is a, that is int type, second is b, that is long type, and c is again long type. So here this is the mixed expression we can observe here. A is int and b is long. Okay, so that's why it is called mixed expression, because different means the variables of different data types are used in a single expression. So that's why that is called mixed expression. Okay, so here we can see this a plus b, the result of this mixed expression will be long, because c is a long variable and that is holding the result of this expression. Okay, so why we are using long here, why we are using the variable of long type here, because long has higher priority than int data type. Okay, so that's why we are using c, that is long data type. Okay, and this c will hold the result of this mixed expression. Okay, but what happen if we used a variable of lower type? Okay, and this lower type of variable is holding the value of this mixed expression. Okay, in this in these variables declaration we can observe we have three variables. One is uh, a of int, b is b of float, and c of long. But here in this mixed expression, the result of this mixed expression we are assigning to a variable that has lower priority than a float and long. Okay, so this will be the error in a Java program. Okay, so now I will show you this type of error using the Java program. Okay, suppose this is a Java program. Okay, we can see in this program I am using three variables. A is of int type, b is of long type, and c is of float type. And here this is the mixed expression. Okay, and here we can see in this mixed expression we are assigning the value, the result of this expression into the variable a. Okay, and here we can see one message is appearing: incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from float to int. Okay, so that means because this a is the int type, and in this expression we are using b and c variables, and this b is long type and c is float type, and long and float has higher priority than int. Okay, so we can't use any variable, okay, any variable which has a lower priority than the variables which we are using in the expression. Okay, so that's why this is the error. Okay, so to make the correction in this error we have to use here c variable. Okay, why I am using c here? Because float has the highest priority than int and long. Okay, so that's why I am using C here. But if we use B, then just look. Okay, again I'm using B here. Okay, so now just again I'm compiling this program. So again we are getting errors. Okay, errors found in class. Okay, why the error is appearing here? Because B is the long type and this long data type has the means lower priority than float data type. Okay, so that's why we can use only C variable here, which will hold the result of this expression, because float has the highest priority than int and long data type. Okay, now I am compiling this program. Okay, and now you can observe class compiled, no syntax errors. Okay, so this is called implicit type conversion. Okay, the second way of type conversion is explicit type conversion, and this is also called typecasting. Okay, so in this type of conversion, the data type gets converted to another type depending upon the user's choice. Okay, one is implicit, where the user cannot interfere, and the other one is explicit type conversion, where the user can interfere. Okay, that means the data type gets converted to another type depending upon the user's choice. Okay, this means the user demands the system to get the result in the desired data type. Okay, means whatever data type the user wants, okay, the user can get the result in that data type. Okay, in case of explicit type conversion. Okay, so now I will discuss the explicit type conversion using the example. Okay, so here the example number one is int ab. So here a and b are the two variables of int data type. That means these two variables a and b can hold only the whole number. Okay, without any fractional sorry, decimal point. Okay, so here, because these both variables can hold only the integer number, then the addition of these variables will be a integer number. Okay, but we want the result in the form of float data type. Okay, so here we are declaring a variable that is x of float data type. Okay, and here this is the method of using the explicit type conversion. Okay, so before the expression, within the bracket we can type the data type, we can write the data type, okay, of which we want the result. Okay, so here suppose because we want the result in a float data type, so that's why we are typing here float, okay, within the brackets before the expression. Okay, so now the x will hold the fractional result of this arithmetic operation. Okay, one more example is there, that is double x or xy. So here x and y are the two variables of double data type. Okay, but and again we can see here x plus y is the expression. So this x plus y expression will give the result in double data type, but we want the result in int data type. So that's why before the expression we can use the int data type within the brackets. Okay, so now I will show you this explicit type conversion using the Java program. Okay, so this is the Java program. Here we can see we are using two variables of float type. One is A and the other one is B. A is holding the fractional value, that is 20.52 F. So here we can see F is using as a suffix. Okay, and this F indicates that this value is the float value. So that's why we are using F. Okay, at the last of the value. Okay, and one more variable is there, that is variable c. Okay, this variable is int type. Okay, so now we all know that whenever a plus b performed, whenever this arithmetic operation will be performed, then the result of this expression will be a fractional number, because the value of a and b are fractional number. So that's why the result of this a plus b will be a fractional number, but we want the result in integer type. in whole number. Okay, so that's why here we are performing the explicit type conversion. Okay, so here before the expression we are using int, okay, within the brackets, and that will be assigned to the variable c, and c is the integer type, int type of variable. Okay, so now just observe the output of this program. Okay, here, so the output of this program is 32. Okay, and 32 is a whole number without any decimal point. Okay, so this is the use of explicit type conversion. Okay, so this is the end of chapter 3. I hope you understand it. Thanks for watching this video.